Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? I am Ping. For Nights with Ping, it's interesting to say a different channel for once. I always want to say the other one. I hope you're doing well out there. Moonlight View, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Teresa in the chat. Yeah, I'm just getting set up. I went live about 5 minutes early just to try and talk to you guys, see what you're up to, and get the stream set up. But right now, everything is going on this. I don't know if we can share this. Will we get in trouble? I don't know. But right now they're on a break for this live stream about this, standoff. They got him though. He came out on like some sort of robot or ladder or something. They had like all the guns pointed at him with the green dots. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like when they do that, show off all their police tech, and I think they got him. So at least I think so. Some guy came out on a laddery movable thing.
We continue to follow the SWAT standoff here in the
For
Humble
some
area.
reason,
You can
I
see the
don't have sound.
demolished
Hold
home
on.
that SWAT teams have done to this house as the suspect inside has still refused to come out. Our Daniela Hurtado
Nope.
is just a couple of streets
This is the
away
issue.
where the command center is. And Daniela, we know you also
Okay, so it
heard
won't actually
a
allow us to
briefing from Sheriff
restream
Ed
the
Gonzalez
sound
on the
from there, from
situation.
this page, but we'd have to use the
As
restreaming
we were
software. But
listening from the sheriff and law
yeah, that's
enforcement
the live show that I
officials
think
here at the
everyone's
command
watching around the
center,
world
they were really
right
talking about
now.
just how
But it's
long
basically
the
look
last
at
24
the
hours
damage
have
they
been.
did to
Of
that
course, we
house.
know that
I hope
deputy that was
whoever's
shot
house that is, I don't
yesterday
know if he was in
is now stable,
his
but
own
was
house, someone
fighting for
else's
his life.
house, or whatever. But that's like thousands of dollars worth of damage. They also took out a brick wall. I have a photo I'm going to show you while I get set up. Check this out, if I can find it. Oh no, that's not the right one. Up here. I took a like screenshot of it before because I was amazed at like how much damage they did to this place. If I can find it. There. Check this out. They put up this machine and they punch through this wall here. So they're like, hey, walls aren't our problem. We'll just punch through it anyway with this giant. This is what he came out on. He was like holding this this spike here, and they lowered him down. And they just punch through the wall, break all the bricks. It's all good. We can fix it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in Australia where they just destroy homes to get suspects. It's pretty cool. Yeah, HCSO demolishing home where deputy shooting suspect. I mean, if they shoot a cop, I mean, it's all bets are off, isn't it? But they're just saying that like the scenes were unfolding at a home in the like 11500 block of Silhouette Ridge and Sunset Ridge West neighborhood. Sources told ABC 13 the officers were shot walking up to the house where a woman was walking out with two children. The officers asked the woman if Tehran was in the home, to which she said yes, and they were fired on. Yeah, we've seen a few of those. There was one in San Diego a couple of years ago where police tried to enter a home and yeah. Joe, hi Ping. Sorry if I made any boo-boos. I have no idea what you're talking about. Did you do something? I have no idea. But I did see some of your posts, but I have no idea if you did anything else. Hey Teresa, good to see you. But I was going to bring you a story. It seems like I was going to come on and then everything finished. There was students missing in Australia up north in like Kakadu, up there in the north part of Australia. I was going to show you here. Share this tab. Up here, so you guys see all this, the wilderness. And then 2 minutes before I jumped on, they're like, "Oh, we found them. They're all good. They're safe and well." I mean, I guess that's a good thing. But so they were about 2 hours outside of Darwin in northern Australia, and apparently they were part of Humpty Doo Independent School, Tamanan College. Police have notified and are working with the families to find the two missing students and return them home. But the update just 2 minutes ago was that after about an hour, they found them. So it says two students who sparked a desperate search when they went missing while attending a school camp in the Northern Territory have been found. The boy and girl, both 15, left camp around 9:30 p.m. on Thursday on the outskirts of Jabiru, 256 kilometers east of Darwin, surrounded by Kakadu National Park. Staff from the school conducted searches of the immediate area and the nearby town, but were unable to find the pair. A police search was launched on Friday morning, but was soon called off after the teenagers were located safe and well, according to NT police spokesperson. I mean, it's a pretty scary place to get lost. You got crocodiles and things like that. So, oh, you guys can't see. Whoops, there you go. But yeah, man, I guess if they're safe and well, it's a good thing. There you guys go. You can see it now. Hey, Sienna, how are you? Hello from Arizona. Hello. I hope you are not too hot down there. I heard it was like 108 F today down there. Very, very warm. So it's freezing down here. It's so cold in Melbourne at the moment. Probably not that cold in the Northern Territory where these guys went missing though. It's quite warm up there even during winter. So yeah. So no news stories. That's it. Good night, everyone. All the news stories wrapped up before I could jump on. This shooting in Houston sort of wrapped up. They got the guy. It seems like the manhunt's over and the standoff is basically over. Yeah. Man accused of injuring 4 officers detained after hours-long standoff. Oh, they have a picture of that of him coming out. Let's see if they will show it. Hold on. No, it doesn't look like they'll show it. But it's sort of on the page here. I'll show you. You can see that in the tiny photo. You can see him clinging to that thing that busted through the wall and all these green dots on him. So if he like moved an inch, they were going to fire on him like instantly. They were going to blow him away. Teresa says, in the United States, suspects have guns. This guy shot several law enforcement. Can't take chances. No, it doesn't seem so. They were well and truly on him. Yeah, they were going to vaporize his ass if he moved, which is deservingly so. He shot like 4 officers, 3 officers? Yeah, 4 officers. That's a lot of people to, a lot of people just doing their job and they're getting shot. So this guy will thankfully go to jail. They didn't kill him, which happens sometimes in these standoffs. They end up forcefully entering the home and then, shooting them or whatever. And you end up with no trial, no justice, just a dead dude. Sienna says, oops, I forgot my glasses. Hold on, I'll find it. Yeah, I wish there was a way that we could alter the chat so people had more control over the font size, but they don't allow it. Hold on, let me turn on my camera. Hey guys, how's it going? Live from Melbourne. I always forget to turn the camera on. Camera's working good these days. After we got the new one from my cat's breaking the old one. Still too much junk in this room. All this has to go into the spare room and I still haven't done it. So you can call Ping lazy. Lazy Ping who doesn't do the things he says he's going to do. I was on with Trish just an hour and a half ago, and we were talking about the Rex Heuermann case, but I really wanted to do this, but I guess there's no point, and everyone's already has all the information on it. So, and there's nothing new on the mushroom one I can give you really either. There's really nothing going on. It's at a standstill right now. Police have basically said, please give us time, let us do our work, and eventually we will give you an update. And that's where it stands right now. So if you are hoping for more mushroom news, there really isn't any. The most that anyone could tell you right now is that it's still under investigation. They are trying to, I guess, get all their ducks in a row and get all their testing back. And that's it. They're just trying to get their investigation done without the public interfering. They said that at a press conference. They were very, very annoyed that a lot of the information had gone into the public domain before they could assess it. They were not very happy about that, apparently. This might be interesting to some of you people in America or other countries, Europe or the UK. I don't know if they do this over there, But a guy caught speeding in his car, 253 kilometers an hour in his car, had his car, his pride and joy, crushed. So in Australia, if you get done for traffic offences, depending on the state, some states are like you can have it done straight away. Some are after multiple offences. Some, it depends on your speed or the type of offence. They will actually take your car off you and crush it, like this guy had. They actually crushed his GM Ute, is what you guys would call it, a GM truck. They did really nice car, actually, probably cost a lot of money, and they just destroyed it. I can show you guys. Yeah. There you go. Look at that. Goodbye, expensive car. Police are like, that's what happens if you speed in Australia. You get your car smashed into a cube. You have 30 minutes to remove your cube. Yep. There you go. Cops are very happy with that. And that's what happens down here if you are a hoon. Hey, Gambler, how are you? So Laura Thomas, why crush it and not sell it? So they crush the car and then they sell it for scrap metal, sort of as a way to teach hoons not to behave like that. The risk is that you'll lose your car, end up in jail, have a bunch of fines put on you, and yeah, have to watch your car turn into a cube. It's serious business down here. The cops down here don't mess around with speeding or, things like that. So if you've ever wondered what happens if you go over the speed limit on Australia, this is what happens. Look, normally if you go over the speed limit like 10 Ks or something, you're just going to lose a bunch of points and get a fine in the mail. You take police on some sort of police chase and get up to like 250 kilometers an hour, they're probably going to crush your car because they'll think that you're some sort of hoon. And yeah, hold on. Miles per hour. So that's not right. So he was doing about 150 miles per hour on the roads, it says. So I don't know if that's super fast where in America or people just drive like that in America, but down here equals crush car. Can't have it. I think it's quite funny. And I think they have a photo of the guy. Where is it? There you go. There's the poor guy who lost his car. Do you feel sorry for him? I don't really feel sorry for him. I think that he probably thinks he, didn't do anything wrong. And he, look at that. Look at all that cash. He'd probably buy another one. Actually, I think he got banned for driving for like 2 years or something. And even he said to the court that he was driving like a dickhead. So at least he admits it, and then maybe he'll learn from his lesson from losing his car. Who knows? Yeah, so it says here the display resulted police court application asking that the ute be forfeited as part of the prosecution, invoking the crushing powers as a disposal method. The crushed vehicle will be sold for scrap metal. The proceeds going to victims of crime. So it'll go to a fund that helps people who are a victim of criminal acts and, things like that. Sam says, I can't imagine how many cars would be crushed daily in the States for speeding. Probably a lot. I think people on those interstates tend to go pretty fast. I've been on some of those big interstates in America, and people are doing like easy 100 miles an hour on those long straight roads. Easy. But the cops down here, they're really, really strict on traffic offenses. You basically live down here as like a prisoner on the roads. They're always doing something. We even have in Australia these cameras that are above like intersections, and they can tell if you're on the phone while you're driving, and they will send you out a fine for like $400 and a whole bunch of points off your license for having a phone on you while you're driving at the lights. So people have been done by it. Each state is starting to bring that in now, and yeah, you can lose your license for having a phone on your lap while you're driving at a set of, waiting at a set of lights. There was a lady who got done. She was sitting in a weird position to the point that the camera in front of her could actually see up her skirt. And apparently, because it was such a high def photo, there was quite a lot of detail, if you want to say it like that. And she actually put in a complaint saying that it was sort of like upskirting or, some sort of like sexual harassment because they were taking photos of her underwear from the traffic camera. So they're not exactly, not everyone likes these new mobile phone cameras. So, hey, Nalana's here, and same with Gambler. Good to see you. Moonlight View is literally everywhere. I think she's literally a member of every true crime channel on the internet, ever. I don't think she is like a non-member at any of them. I think she's on every single one. Hold on. Let's get some real true crime. Where is that other one I was going to talk to you guys about? Oh yeah, if you remember a few weeks ago, I talked to you about this guy. This fellow was the guy who killed his wife and baby and handed himself in to police a couple of days later. They're saying here, the sister of a young mum who was allegedly murdered by her husband, along with their 11-week-old daughter, is in utter shock over the tragedy. Police discovered the bodies of Taylor Cox and baby Murphy Margaret at their home on Bean Street in Rockhampton, Central Queensland last Thursday, 2 days after Matthew James Cox, 31, allegedly killed them. Detectives believe Mr. Cox flew to Brisbane last Tuesday and stayed for 2 nights at the Constant Fortitude Valley Hotel, which would have cost more than $800 before he walked into a police station and handed himself in. He was charged with 2 counts of murder and no bail application when the case went before the Brisbane Magistrates Court on Friday. While the cause of death has not been confirmed, Detective Superintendent Darren Shadlow said the alleged victims had lacerations on their bodies and there was a large amount of blood at the scene. How terrible. On Thursday, a week after the remains were uncovered, Mrs. Cox's sister, Cassie Black, told the Daily Mail Australia, "I'm in utter shock." There's a photo of them. Look like a nice young family. It looks like that's him, that's her, and maybe his parents or her parents, and then the little baby. How very sad. There's a picture of the little kid. Was that her? Yeah, that's her, 11 months old. How terrible. There's some messages of support, like before the murders. Oh, it's to the daughter. Happy 30th birthday to my beautiful daughter-in-law, Taylor Cox, and new mum. Enjoy your day. Get spoiled. Some classic photos that had to be shared on your day. There's nothing compared to the collection you have of me. So I think just some things I was saying before on her birthday. Just 8 weeks before her death, Mr. Cox's stepfather, Aaron Lind, wrote a heartfelt social media post to wish the new mum a happy 30th birthday. Yeah, they're the ones we just read. He jokingly shared a series of unflattering photos, to which Mrs. Cox replied, that second photo is the filthiest thing I've ever seen, along with a series of laughing emojis. Yeah, this guy, I don't know what caused him to destroy his entire life and write off his family, but they really need to look at more about why a man would do this at such a critical point of his life. The baby's not even a year old yet. Mom's just getting healed up from having a baby, and it's just a real weird tragedy. Even police have said there's no confirmed history or no known history of domestic violence within the relationship. So it sort of came from nowhere. No one knew anything or had heard anything. It's very, very awful. Danny Mitchell says, sorry, hold on. Nana Lana says, Moonlight View, how sweet of you to mod for Ping. Oh, she didn't have a choice. I just added it. She mods for the other channel, so I trusted her, so I just did it. Danny Mitchell says, where was the fool who shot the 4 cops? Oh, we sort of spoke about him before, but it's sort of all wrapped up for the night. I'm not sure what else they're doing to the house. I think they're just clearing the property of any hazards. Things like firearms or explosives or something like that. They're saying here that the SWAT member who brought down the deputy was a rookie. Is that? Yeah, rookie. That's pretty cool, but I would suggest anyone who's in the SWAT team probably has a ton of experience before being a member of the SWAT team. Like, I think they're the best of the best, aren't they? They go through specialist training and things like that. So they're saying a man accused of wounding 4 law enforcement officers in 2 separate incidents has been arrested after an hours-long standoff at a home in Humble. So if you want to know where he is, Danny Mitchell, he's with his good friends, the police officers, hanging out with them. I don't think they are going to be very happy that he has shot 4 of their buddies, and they may have got a couple of punches in on the way down while they're arresting him. 1 for each of their mates, probably. He's so lucky they didn't blow him away. I was waiting for it. I've seen so many of these where eventually the cops just get frustrated and think that there's some sort of threat to the public or other neighbors or whatever, and they just storm the place and then just blow him away. But there you go, Danny. There he is. Look, getting taken down on this mechanical arm thing, and then you see the big green dots, one on his leg, one on his gut. Surprised there's not one on his head or his chest or something, but these are probably the meatiest parts of him where they would definitely be able to fire a shot and actually get him. So that's where he is. Nah, they didn't shoot him. No, I don't think so. He's fine, apparently. Just they had the green dots on him just in case he tried to do anything. I think they held a lot of restraint. Like I said, I've seen so many of these where they actually will kill him. And they'll just be like, oh, yeah, he had a gun and we had no choice but to shoot him 40 times. After the 20 shots, he was still moving. So we pumped another 20 into him, just to make sure that he was dead and that we could safely arrest him. I've seen about 1 million of those ones. Danny Mitchell says they should have. Well, if they shot him, then then he wouldn't be able to go to trial, and you don't know if it's a whatever. It could be 1 million reasons why this all started, but they did show a lot of restraint. Normally, when it's a cop involved shooting, and it's one of their friends or whatever, they don't really go this easy. You tend to see them really lay into them. But it looks like he's been arrested and he'll go to court tomorrow morning after going to the hospital or whatever. So it all ended before I got on. So I was hoping to cover it while it was still playing out, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately. And I, a bit sad about that in a way. Just wanted to be a part of it, people. Danny Mitchell says, FYI, I'm black. Okay. You can be black. That's fine if you want to. I mean, if that's who you are, Danny, that's okay. We still love you, and you can be whatever you want to be. You want to be a dragon? I'm a dragon. I identify as octopus. All sorts of things. It's all good. We're all friends here. Doesn't matter. Don't care if you're a intergalactic alien who eats whales. Doesn't bother me. As long as you want to hang out and talk true crime, it's all good. All right, give me 1 second. I just want to fix this. All right, sorry about that. I was trying to fix the camera. So this camera plays up a lot. Give me just a second and get back to track. Danny Mitchell, Ikadmel covered it live. Yes, I saw a bunch of people in our chat did go to Ikadmel's channel. That was really cool. He's a really nice guy. One day I could hope to be as awesome as a streaming person as him. Probably never. I don't have his coolness, unfortunately. Or his setup. He has a really nice setup. So give me a second. We'll talk some mushroom news. So this was the statement that the police were basically, here we go. Don't do that. All right, here we go. It says here, Leongatha has suspected mushroom poisoning. Erin Patterson says media has portrayed her as an evil witch. Look, I don't think the media has portrayed her as an evil witch, but those are her words. Says, there you go, there's a photo of her the other day. It says a woman at the center of the mushroom lunch left 3 people dead and a 4th fighting for his life has told media she feels like she has become a prisoner in her own home. Speaking to The Australian, Erin Patterson, 48, said she felt as though she had been painted as an evil witch and had been trapped in her own home. Couple Gail and Don Patterson, both 70, Patterson's sister, Heather Wilkinson, died in hospital after eating lunch at the Leongatha home in Victoria's southeast on July 29th. Several media outlets have been parked outside Patterson's house since the deadly lunch gained international attention, and she said she has not been able to have friends over to support her because nobody wants their face in the media. I lost my parents-in-law, my children lost their grandparents, she said, and I've been painted as an evil witch, and the media is making it impossible for me to live in this town. I can't have friends over. The media is at the house where my children are at. The media are at my sister's house. I can't go there. This is unfair. The comments come as, I think Trish told you about this, the Australian Mushroom Growers Association, the AMGA, has come out in defense of the supply chain, saying there is no way poisonous mushrooms could be grown in commercial farms. This fungus, death cap, only grows in the wild. Commercial mushrooms are grown indoors in environmentally controlled rooms with strict hygiene protocols and food safety standards. The only mushrooms you can be sure are safe and fresh are Australian-grown mushrooms bought from a trusted retailer. In a statement provided to police and obtained by the ABC, Patterson confirmed her estranged husband had accused her of killing his parents. She said she had been at the hospital with her children discussing the food hydrator, which was later found at the tip when Simon asked her if it was what you used to poison them. Patterson said in the statement that she was not worried she would lose. She was worried she would lose custody of their children and dumped the hydrator in the tip and panicked. She said she is now devastated to think that these mushrooms may have contributed to the illness suffered by my loved ones. I get that. It'd be horrible if one of my relatives died from something I cooked. She said, I really want to repeat that I had absolutely no reason to hurt these people whom I loved. My cat decided to come join us. The Victorian Health Department is required to act if there is a food safety incident. This is the bit that's interesting to me. If there had been some suggestion that these mushrooms had been some way purchasable by anyone, the public, the Victorian Health Department is really, really quick to act on this sort of thing, and they will put out recalls and things like that. The public announcements, things in the paper. I don't know what's going on with this cat. He never sits up here. It's really weird. Hi, buddy. What's wrong? I think he knows he's on camera. Siana says, well, some people shouldn't cook. Yeah, I think she'd probably be ordering takeaway for the next 10 years after this. Nana Lana says, is there any news her ex had the same symptoms when he was very ill? The only thing I've seen about his illness is that he had to have surgery on his smaller intestine, and he had some sort of mystery illness that even hospital staff weren't sure of what caused. But he thought he was poisoned by nightshade, something to do with nightshade, fruit or vegetables or something. cat, what are you doing? Hi, ow. Hey. My cat is mental. He never acts like this. Gambler says, whether she's guilty or not, I would treat eating anything she's cooked. I know, right? She's never going to be able to have a dinner party ever again. No one is going to accept that invitation from her for life. Never ever again. Hey, love you more. Good to see you. Glad you could be here. I know it's late for everyone. Very, very late. Hey, Marv, stop. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, I actually just got it. Hey. Oi. My cat's being a jerk. I don't know why. I just got a ding on my thing. Teresa sent in a donation. Thank you very much, Teresa. I very much appreciate it. And it's very kind of you to be here tonight. It means a lot. We're just trying to get this channel started, so it's going to take a minute for us to figure everything out. Yeah, good to see you. Love you more. You gambler, I actually very interested whether there was a question that was put to her via a newspaper saying that did the people that were invited to the lunch know that the mushrooms they ate were wild mushrooms or some sort of mushrooms that weren't bought from a supermarket? I think that's a really interesting question. Because would you eat it? If someone invited you around to eat something like for lunch or dinner, would you also eat the food if you knew it was a wild mushroom, if you weren't sure whether they knew what they were doing? That's what my question to people. I'd want to know. Yeah, very much so, because I think it's a risk. It's like anything. It's like people who, dry their own meat or something, or hunt or whatever. You have to trust that they know what they're doing. And I'm sure for the most part people do, and people eat hunted food all the time. But I'm sure there's a small portion that gets sick from it, from improper storage or handling, or things like that. Danny Mitchell says, isn't it funny? We call the dump and you call it in the tip. Yeah, some people call it a dump here too. Some people call it a tip. It just depends. Depends who they are and things like that. Another article. Yeah. It says here, mushroom cook Erin Patterson warns media of legal action for trespassing at Leongatha property following fatal lunch. So apparently she's put out a legal notice on her her property. Look at this. And it says here, please be advised that the owner of this property hereby gives notice to all members of the media or any persons employed or contracted to any media organization that you are not permitted to enter any part of this property as marked by the boundary fence. If you do so enter, then you are committing the offense of trespass. See Section 9 of the Summary Offences Act and will be reported to police. I'm not sure what that would do to stop anyone, because isn't technically a gate the same thing? Any sort of locked gate and you enter is trespass because you don't own the property. It's just a notice, like a piece of paper. She also owns other properties, so I'm not sure if they're able to be lived in or they're being rented out. But you'd think she'd run away to like a different property if she was getting harassed so much. Yeah, I don't really get it, but I get the media attention would be pretty brutal. The media down here are pretty crazy, so yeah, that story only came out in the Herald and Sky News like an hour ago, saying that, yeah, she wants them off her property. Oh, this is actually good news. Apparently, the fourth victim, the one who needs the liver transplant, is improving. It says the family of suspected mushroom poisoning victim Ian Wilkinson told 9 News he is showing signs of improvement in hospital. That's really good. Hopefully he can get his transplant soon and he'll be able to go home eventually. That would be nice. One day I really wanted to talk to you about this lady. I don't know if you can see where my mouse is, where it says prison officers set upon by woman who beheaded her mother. One day we'll talk about her. She's a real, she might be like evil in human form. She literally beheaded her mother and carried her head around on the street. I'm not kidding. One day we'll talk about her. Apparently she's been attacking prison officers. The suspect of the mushroom poison, yeah, he's doing better. It comes as Victoria's Deputy Police Commissioner warned the investigation into the incident that killed 3 people would be lengthy. I told you guys that on the on Trisha's show. It says Deputy Police Commissioner Wendy Steendam also confirmed that Cook Erin Patterson's written letter seen and reported by the ABC and The Age was not a formal police statement. That is very interesting because it means it basically doesn't mean crap. It means that unless she provides it under caution from police and they record it on the spot or whatever, it's just a piece of paper. She told the ABC radio that the statement being provided to media outlets was unhelpful to the police investigation. What I would say is that anything that's in the media, working on an investigation through the media is unhelpful to our investigation. She also emphasized that the statement was not a formal police statement. She said the police investigation was being undertaken carefully and would take some time. It's not going to be quick. I reported that on Trisha's thing earlier. Patterson's statement revealed she was also hospitalized with bad stomach pains and diarrhea after eating the meal, which is believed to have caused the deaths of her former in-laws, Don and Gail. Heather's husband, Ian, is still in hospital but is improving. Don, Gail, and Heather all died a week after eating it. The statement also claims that Patterson bought dried mushrooms from an Asian grocery store in Mount Waverley in Melbourne months ago. They actually went out. There are a couple of the papers. I can't remember. The Daily Mail went out to Mount Waverley and actually asked the Asian grocery stores out there whether any of them stocked mushrooms with a handwritten packaging, like labels. And not one of them, I mean, why would they admit it now? They'd be like, no, we don't have any of those. And out the back, there's like 2 pallets of them. But as far as they explained to the newspaper, they don't have any. And they don't sell that type of, product. They normally just sell stuff that comes in, your typical, industrial packaging with a label and nutritional ingredients and that type of thing. And they don't have anything like that. So very interesting. Nanalana, I have allergies to any seafood and I always ask if shrimp or other is in the food. Moonlight View, not here. Really? They do something different? Nanalana says I have allergies to seafood and I always ask if shrimp. That must be a very hard allergy to deal with because they use seafood like flavoring and stock and in a lot of different foods. So Moonlight View says you all seem to be so paranoid about the mushroom stroganoff I shipped you. Yeah, I think mushroom sales in Australia have probably dipped in the last 2 weeks. Love You More says don't forget her sister was one of the ones poisoned. It was her Simon's mother's sister. So Simon is her ex-husband. It's his mother's sister is the one that was poisoned and killed. And it's her husband who is waiting on the liver transplant. His name is Ian. So that's the familial relationship there. So I think that's about it on that one. Just that, yeah, she's still denying it. This is interesting. Patterson was interviewed by police but released without charge. Patterson denies any wrongdoing over the meal and statement. Yeah, we already read this statement. Yeah, that's it. I still find this interesting. Patterson said the children did eat the beef Wellington the following night as leftovers, but she scraped the mushrooms off before the dish before she served them. I still don't know how that works. If someone who is, a world famous toxicologist wants to tell me how just scraping mushrooms off a dish that was cooked together somehow makes people not get poisoned, I'm all ears. Let me know, because I would love to know, because I don't get it. Moonlight View says, so Erin is 3 for 2. Yeah, she's batting at like a 750 average. She's 75%. She's not quite at that. She's not batting 100. That's for sure. 3 out of 5. Wow, yeah. If she wanted to get her ex-husband, that's for sure. Yeah, but other than that, it's really slowed down since about Thursday last week. There's only been about 2 articles all week that actually had any like decent new information. It's really slowed to a crawl, and I think part of that is part of the police not doing a whole heap of media. They did some last week, and I think they were a little more open, but they've sort of backed off, and they're not doing as much anymore, which is very interesting. There was this one. Hold on. Yeah, I found this very interesting too. This was from Sky News. That a friend of the family reveals Erin Patterson's family was experienced in craft of mushroom foraging. So they were basically explaining that, like a lot of people who live in rural areas in Australia, it was a pastime that her family partook in. And it was something that they had done for many years and knew the type of mushrooms you can eat, the type of mushrooms you can't eat, and things like that. And they found it very curious how someone would die after she made a meal containing mushrooms. They found it, they didn't understand how that would happen. See, a close friend of the Patterson family told Daily Mail she was known for going wild mushroom foraging around Victoria's Gippsland region, along with her ex-partner Simon and other relatives, and was very good at it. The Patterson family would pick mushrooms each year when they were in season. It's very common for people to go mushroom picking around that area. The family would go foraging regularly and knew what to pick. So it sounds like they had some sort of like training or, experience in it. Miss Patterson has maintained she wasn't aware of any potential hazards of the mushrooms used in the meal preparation. In autopsies of the 3 fatalities, detectives found all their symptoms were consistent with those of death cap mushroom poisoning, an extremely deadly and toxic variety never dispensed for sale. Yeah, I never go to the shops, and I go to the poison section and I'm like, bug spray, ant repellent. Oh, mushrooms for humans. I gotta kill those humans. I never see that. Laura Thomas says, it still sounds like Erin would have had a double dose because the mushrooms would have been mixed in anyway, right? Well, that's what I think. If she ate it on the day with her family, then she would have got a dose of poisoning then. And then I still contend that she would have tested the meal as she was cooking it too. Then she had leftovers the next day, according to her statement. So she would have had another dose of poison then. If anything, she should be sicker than the rest of them. How is it that somehow she has some sort of magical system that doesn't get affected by death cap poisoning? What did Gambler say? If her friends were able to visit, I wonder what they'd do if she prepared food for them. What if she said, if you don't eat it? Yeah, maybe they'd be like, it's okay, love. We'll catch up with you in a couple of weeks. When all this blows over, we'll come visit you. We'll bring the food. That's what they said. We'll bring dinner. Don't you cook. We don't want you to cook under so much stress. We'll cook your dinner. The Erin case reminds me of the OJ date on SNL, where they gave OJ plastic utensils to eat his steak. Yeah, Moonlight View says, but no, Erin survives. I know, I find that's the most suspicious thing to me. is the fact that apparently she ate it twice and somehow she was out of hospital a couple of days later. No real bad issues, no lingering problems or anything like that. But somehow, and look, I get it. These 4 people are older. They may have been more susceptible to succumbing to the poison, but I don't think it matters how old you are, how young you are. I think those poisons are pretty bad for you. I think it kills most people. There's probably some LD50 based on body weight where, depending on how many grams you eat compared to body weight is how easily it'll kill you. But, she didn't need a liver transplant. She didn't need weeks in hospital or anything. So, bit weird. Yeah, it's like those Moonlight View says she's been eating death caps for so long she's immune now. It's sort of like those people that think they're immune to the snake bites, that they've been bitten so many times that they no longer get affected. And then when they get bit for like the 8th time, they die. There was a dude in America that was like that. He's like, oh no, I've been bitten about 50 times by this rattlesnake or whatever. And then it bit him again and then he died from it because he didn't go to hospital. He thought he was immune to the poison, and my system has built up a resistance to it. Ended up dying. They found him dead in his home after being bitten by his pet snake again. So that's it. Bit disappointed we didn't get to go over the what do you call it? The shooting suspect in in the county. I think that would have been a lot more fun to do. Next time I'm going to have to jump on earlier. When I said I was going to do the live show last night, I didn't know I was going to be on with Trish today. I didn't get told until a couple of hours before the live show, so that we would have been on a lot earlier, probably just after Trish finished. We probably would have jumped on. Yeah, hey Reason, good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you found us here. Oh, it's like 4. All right. It's only supposed to be short shows on here while I'm getting started. So we're not supposed to be doing 2-hour long or an hour and a half or whatever. It's supposed to be just half an hour every couple of days to catch up. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap up for the night. But I will be back soon. I don't know when, but soon. maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, I'll be back after my show, Sundays with Ping, on the Monday. We'll be back and we'll do another update. Hopefully we have more information by then, because I don't want to make this boring for you. Otherwise, what's the point? Just come on and spout crap for 2 hours. That's just not what we want to do. So hopefully next time, if there's an event on, we can get on a bit quicker and show more of the live coverage like Ikidbel does. I hope I'm saying his name right. He's a great host. I really like his channel and he does a great job. So if I could even be 1% of what he is, that would be perfect. So I'm really happy to see more people here. Thank you to everyone who subscribed in the last week. It's been really, really good. I've had a lot of people write in or just leave comments or whatever. All of that helps. We need to get to like 1,000 watch hours, so it'll take a little bit of time and things like that, and then we'll be able to do the bots and fix things on the chat and do stuff like that. So it'll be really good. But I really want to thank Teresa again. Thank you, Teresa, for sending in that donation. It's so kind of you to support the new channel. It really means a lot. And just while I'm here, one of my friends sent in a donation a few days ago, and I didn't get a chance to thank her. My friend Shelley, thank you for that birthday donation a few days ago. I really appreciate it. So thanks for joining us here tonight. I know it's late. Everyone go get some sleep. Trish will be back tomorrow. I'll be back on Sundays with Ping on Sunday, and we'll try sneaking another live show between now and Sunday. But if not, definitely on Monday for sure. And we should have some more mushroom information. Hopefully my cat be's quiet next time. Good night, everyone. thank you for coming for a little update show, and have a great night. That's it from me. Nights with Ping. Good night.